last time we have started the second chapter, and this is our third lecture of multi-level inverter. So in last lecture we have discussed uh, the significance of multi-level inverter, why we go for multi-level inverter rather than this two-level inverter, what are the advantages, what is the output, how the output is produced, what is the nature of the output produced in case of multi-level inverter as compared to the two level or the conventional inverter. Okay. So here, based on the topology, we have three types that also I told you. In that we have discussed the diode clamp multi-level inverter. That diode clamp multi-level inverter can also be named as the neutral clamp inverter, because here we are using that neutral point. Okay, neutral point inverter or diode clamp inverter. Here we are using this middle terminal, intermediate terminals of C1, C2, okay, as a neutral. Okay, so finishing, this is ground here. Okay, so that is the reason it can also be called as a neutral point. So if you see this, okay, so I also told you the formula. Um, Suppose if we are designing for consider M level. Okay, so for M level, how many switches are required? Switches count is 2 into M minus 1. Okay, then clamping diodes, that also told you. Clamping diodes, clamping diodes means this kind. Okay, so how to calculate the count of this? M minus 1 into M minus 2, and the capacitor, input capacitor. Okay, input capacitor. Input capacitor means this. Okay, this capacitor. So how to calculate the count of this? The count of this will be M minus 2. Okay, so now this is, they are telling 3 level. So 3 means, if you see how many switches are there, 3 minus 1, 2, 2 into 2, 4. So if you see this, 1, 2, 3 and 4 switches are there. How many diodes are there? Clamping diodes, M minus 1 into M minus 2. 3 minus 1, 2, 3 minus 2, 1. 2 into 1, 2. So 2 diodes will be there. Okay. Input capacitors, now it is 3 levels. So 3 minus 1, 2. So 2 capacitors will be there. So as far as this circuit is concerned, it is 3-phase circuit. Okay. So one phase, this one leg is for every phase. Okay. So this will be of R phase. This is the leg of R phase. Then this is the second leg. Okay, so this one complete circuit is called as a one leg. So this can be of Y phase, and this last one is can be of B phase. Okay, so out of which we'll consider only one to understand this. Okay, so three levels: neutral point converter, so neutral point converter or diode clamp converter. So if you see this, this is our input voltage. These are the input capacitors. Okay, and here we have four switches for three level inverter. So here is the point, intermediate point of the of these four switches. Okay, two switches are on the upper side, two switches are on the lower side. So here we are using the complementary pairs of switches. So complementary means, here if we have assumed the switch S1 is here, then here we have assumed S1 dash. Okay, if it is S1 here and here S1 dash, if switch S2 we are assuming this, then this will be of S2 dash. So complementary pair means these two switches we are using to produce the positive half of the cycle, and these two switches we are using for producing the negative half of the cycle. Okay, so here you can see this, the nature of the output voltage is given there. So as this inverter is named as a neutral point, so intermediate point of this input capacitors, that is C1 and this C2, okay, it is assumed here as a neutral. Okay, so here this terminal is grounded and it is connected to this. So in between this o a and o we are connecting the load. Okay, so our concern is to see the output voltage across a with respect to o. Okay, so to produce the output voltage, so you just see, if we have voltage level VDC, okay, C1 C2 both are of the same values. Okay, so this input voltage VDC is equally divided across C1 and C2. Okay, so assumes VDC by 2 will be voltage appears across C1, VDC by 2 will appear across the capacitor C2. Okay, so what are the different levels we get here? Okay, so one is VDC by 2. Okay, then total voltage is VDC. Okay, and sorry, no, total voltage VDC, then in the negative half minus VDC by 2. Okay, and third level is 0. Okay, so if you refer the different books, um, some books also have taken the voltages at the output, which is VDC by 2. Okay, then total VDC, and then 0. So this combination also we can take. Okay, so if you refer some, it means different authors uh, uses the switching of these four switches, okay, as per their convenience. Okay, so we have the provision, because the entire programming of the switches, how to switch this, is in our hand. Okay, so what in whichever way we switch, we'll get the three levels. Okay, so here it is, if you refer this slide here, they have referred VDC by 2. It means only the single capacitor voltage they are taking across at one time, not two capacitors they are taking, two capacitors voltage they are taking across the load. They are taking only one capacitor voltage across the load. Okay, so how to take this? So to get a VDC by 2, S1 S2 is on. Okay, so S1 S2 means this and this. It means initially current will flow in this way. Okay, so as the gate pulse is received by this switch, so this switch can be SCR, MOSFET, IGBT, it can be anything. So as the gate pulse is received by S1 and gate pulse is received by S2, that current will flow through these switches. It will come to this point. From this point it will flow through the load and it will complete path to this point. Okay, for understanding, let us assume we have connected R load here in this way. Okay, so its current will come to this A point, A to this neutral point at O. Okay, and here that circuit will be finished. Okay, so across R, now we are getting VDC by 2 voltage. Okay, now to get a 0 voltage, okay, so you just see S2 and S1 star. It means S2 switch and conjugate of S1, which is S1 star or S1 dash, that is on. Okay, so in this case what happens, you just see here the current will flow there. So as this S1 is off and here S2 dash is also off. Okay, so no capacitor voltage initially comes here. So as we have assumed here the resistive load, okay, so there is no any energy storing. So if there is a reactive load present here, then that load will be or whatever is the energy stored in that load, that will be vanished through this and will get a 0 voltage. Okay, now to get a minus VDC by 2, so the switching combination is given here. Now you just see this complementary switches, that is S1 star and S2 star or dash, they turned on, and the main switches S2 and S1 and S2, they are turned on and they get the negative half here. So how we get a waveform here? So you just see with respect to this switching combination, first, okay, we get, I will show you here. Okay, so first we'll get this 0, okay, and then we get this half, and again 0, in minus VDC by 2 and again in this way. So in this way we get 3 levels. Okay, so here it is, this level is of VDC by 2, so this is of 0 and this is of minus VDC by 2. So in this way we call it as a 3 level inverter. Okay, so this is the only one leg, okay, we have discussed. Once we connect the filter at this end, then this will be turned out into a sinusoidal waveform in this way. Okay, in this way the sine is produced once we connect this. Okay, and if you observe the two level, how the two level is produced, the two level is in this way. Okay, so here we have clamped this here, so here we are getting sine wave in two level in this way. So here the unwanted part is more, so if you observe this unwanted part is less, it means pulsating nature is less, so obviously we'll get a less harmonic into the system. Okay, and mathematical tool I also told you, we are using the Fourier series to find out the different harmonic components from this output of this multi-level inverter, any multi-level inverter, either diode clamp, prime capacitor or cascaded multi-level inverter. Okay, so in this way we produce the output across this multi-level inverter. Okay, so as I told you, the combination, the mathematical formulas for how many capacitors we need, input capacitors, for how many diodes we need into the circuitry, how many main switches we need here. So for that, by using these formulas, we can construct this inverter for any level. So for example, here it is given for 3 levels. So you can also build up it for 5 level, 9 level, 11 level. Okay, so here it is shown here for the 5 level inverter. Okay, so if you see here, if we apply the mathematical formulas, okay, how many switches? Okay, so for switches, if you see how many switches we need here, 2 into m minus 1. Okay, so now it is 5 levels, so 5 minus 1. Okay, so 5 minus 1 means here it is 4 into 2, 8 switches are there. So if you see there, 1, 2, 3, 4. S1 dash, S2 dash, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 8. So total 8 switches we have. Okay, then how many capacitors? The count of capacitor, input capacitors. How many capacitors we need here? In case of input, the formula is m minus 1 capacitor. Okay, so now it is a 5 level. So with respect to 5 level, 5 minus 1 is 4. So 4 capacitors we need. So we have C1, C2, C3, C4. Okay, then these diodes, clamping diodes. So clamping diodes we need, the formula is m minus 1. Okay, m minus 1 into m minus 2 diodes. Okay, so you just see 5 minus 1 into 5 minus 2, 4 into this 3, 12. So if you measure this, these are the 12 diodes will be there. Okay, so in this way we construct this. Then again you apply the switches, you just see the intermediate point of these switches, which is this point. Okay, is referred here to connect a load there. Okay, so this point we have used to connect a load, and the intermediate point of this input capacitor is again used to find used as a neutral terminal. Okay, so again we have to produce the output. So for positive we have to use this main switch S1, S2, S3, S4, and to produce this negative half we have to use S1 dash, S2 dash, S3 dash, S4 dash. Okay, so switching combinations, there is no any hard and fast rule that for positive we have to use this, for negative we have to use this. It is the convention we are assuming to get this, but you can also produce this positive half by using these lower switches, okay, or in between these two switches. So it is up to you what logic we are using. Okay, so why I am telling you this, because if you refer the book, in different groups you will get the different switching combinations. Okay, so we have to assume whichever is easier one to understand. Okay, so here as with respect to this formulas I told you how the count of the components into this 5 level. Okay, similarly, so here state the 5 voltage levels of the VAO. So here across VAO we get the 5 voltage levels and switching condition. Okay, so as I told you, we have to get output voltage across A with respect to O point. Okay, and for that we have to apply some logic and we have to switch. Okay, then we'll see the switching combination. So here how the 5 levels are considered here. The switching table is given there. Okay, so to get VDC by 2, you just see VDC by 2, S1, S2, S3, S4 is on. Okay, so VDC by 2 means what? See, here we have total input voltage VDC. C1, C2, C3, C4, all these capacitors are of the same value. Okay, so obviously this VDC will be equally distributed across these capacitors. Okay, so across C1 will get VDC by 4. Okay, across C2 will get VDC by 4. Across C3 we get VDC by 4 and across C4 also we get VDC by 4. So if you add all this you will get total VDC. Okay, so in this way this input voltage is divided across this capacitor. Okay, and you see how the connections are done here. Okay, so here we have this intermediate point of this C1 C2 is connected to this point. D1 is there. Okay, then this end is connected. See, after S1 this cathode of this diode D1 is connected. Okay, in series with this another 3 diodes are added there. Okay, and it is connected after the complementary of S1, which is S1 dash. Okay, then the second intermediate point of C2 and C3. Okay, here 2 diodes are connected in the upward side and 2 diodes are connected in the downward side, and you just see this cathode of this diode D2 is connected after S2 switch or in between S2 and S3, and here if you see the anode of this D2 dash is connected after S2 dash or in between S2 dash and S3 dash. Okay, then you just see again this intermediate point of C3 C4. Okay, it is connected here, and diode D3 is indicated here with the 3 diodes, and D3 dash will be here. Okay, after S3 is connected, after S3 dash will be connected. So I am telling you just to remember. Now you might have a question why there is a count of the diode is different. Okay, so because that diode has to sustain the voltage. Okay, so based on this, these diodes are configured. Some mathematical formulations are there. Okay, and based on this, diodes are placed into this circuit in this way. Okay, so this is, so if you see first level is VDC by 2. For VDC by 2, first 4 switches are on. Okay, so VDC by 2 means what? This VDC by 4 plus VDC by 4. So total it becomes VDC by 2. Okay, so that has to come across A with respect to O. So you just see initially current will flow in this way. It will flow through S1, S2, S3, S4. Okay, then it will flow through A point. Let us assume the load we have connected here in this way. From A it will come to this point. So total C1 C2 voltage, which is VDC by 2, that appears across VAO. Okay, so that voltage appears across VAO. So you just see here the waveform is also shown here. Initially that VDC by 2 appears here in this way. Okay, so this value of voltage VDC by 2. Okay, then you just see now if you want uh, the VDC by 4. Okay, if you want VDC by 4, now you tell me which switch combinations we should take here for VDC by 2. Now we have to skip this S1. Okay, now we'll apply pulse to only S2, S3 and S4. So you just see in that case the current will flow in this way. Okay, through S2, S3, S4 it will come to this point, and after this it will flow through the load and it will be ended here. It means only this C2 is coming across the load. So C2 means what? VDC by 4. So this much value of voltage will be produced. That is VDC by 4 here. Okay. So okay, VDC by 4 voltage is produced there. Okay, now when we want zero voltage, we have to see for 0, okay, S3, S4 and S1 dash. So every time they have used the 4 switches. Okay, so these switches are turned off. So in that case, no any capacitor voltage is coming across the load. Okay, not C1, C2, C3, C4, no any capacitor will get connected across the load. So whatever is the energy stored in the load, if there is a reactive load, that will be dissipated through this load only. So in that case we get a zero voltage in this way. Okay, again to get the negative half, okay, we have to use this complementary switches. Okay, so in that case how to use this complementary switches? The same way which we have used this. Only the difference will be, now if you see, initially current is flowing from upward to downward and then it is flowing through the load. Now for negative half, what will happen? It will flow exactly opposite to that of this initial case. Okay, and in this way this second half will be produced. Okay, same switching combination. So you do it, you apply the same logic there. Okay, so now if you see this, the nature of the output. Okay, so here the levels are more. First level, that is VDC by 2. Okay, then here VDC by 4, then here 0 voltage level, then here minus VDC by 4, and then here minus VDC by 2. So total 5 levels, that is VDC by 2, first, second, this 0 is third, fourth and this fifth. So in this way these levels are counted. Okay, so if you see this, if we connect a filter circuit there, okay, we'll get the output, the sinusoidal waveform in this way. Okay, I will draw it, sinusoidal waveform. If we connect the filter, we'll get the sinusoidal waveform in this way. Okay, you just see again this unwanted component or this unwanted part is chopped more than the 3 levels. Okay, so in this way naturally the size of the filter which we use for 3 levels, the size of the filter will be reduced in the 5 level as compared to the 3 level neutral point clamp inverter. Okay, so in this way we use or we construct this 5 level inverter. Okay, so likewise we you can construct any level of inverter by using this. Okay, so what can be the advantage and disadvantage of this diode clamp inverter? So advantage is that as we go for higher levels, okay, higher level output, then here the harmonic content will be automatically reduced. That is the advantage. Okay, the inverter efficiency is also high here. Why? Because the switches are switched for the fundamental frequency. Okay, so because of the less switching, the losses will be less there. Okay, so this is these are the advantages. Okay, first is the harmonic content will be less and because of the switches are switched for the fundamental frequency, so losses will be less. Okay, and the control of these switches is simpler. Okay, switching combination is simpler. Then what can be a disadvantage? Okay, so what can be a disadvantage of this? By using this we can list, or we can guess the disadvantage. If you see, the for 3 level we have 2 diodes here only. Okay, if we see for 5 levels, how many diodes are increased? 10 diodes are increased. So as we go for the higher levels, the count of the diode in the circuitry will increase. Okay, so that is the reason it becomes a little complicated circuit to construct. Okay, and if after construction to analyze the circuit. Okay, then here it is difficult to control the real power flow of the individual converter. It means here as far as this real power flow is concerned, so if you see, as out of these 4 switches or these 8 switches, there is a asymmetry, or there is a unequal rating distribution of the switches. It means initially, if you see, for the positive half, okay, or for this VDC by 2, for VDC by 2, S1, S2, S3, S4 is conducting. Okay, to get VDC by 4, S2, S3, S4 is conducting. Okay, to get a 0, then here S3, S2 and this S1 dash is conducting. So if you see, S4 is always in the circuit as compared to this S3, S2 and S1. So the rating which the rating of the S4 which we are using, that need to be higher than the other switches. Okay, or we have to use the other switches which is equivalent to that S4 switches. Okay, so here the rating of the switches is also need to use very high, even though the combination is say simpler for switching of these switches, but to sustain or to produce a good output, okay, we have to use the switches which is of higher rating. Okay, even though it is not necessary, it means S1, S2, S3, they are not conducting more, but the remaining switches S3, S4 is conducting more, or here S3 dash S4 is conducting more. So for that reason, okay, for equal or uniform distribution, we have to use the switches which is of little higher ratings than the actual requirement. So these are the disadvantages of this neutral point clamp technique. Okay, so I hope you understand it. Okay, so if you, I am not explaining you any single switching, because there can be multiple ways. Okay, so as per your understanding you can explore. Okay, I am explaining only for positive half. Now you can apply the same logic for negative half. Now this is the switching combination. Okay, this is for 3 levels. Then next type, or the second type of the multi-level inverter is flying capacitor multi-level inverter. Okay, so flying capacitor here means what? Here the concept of this flying capacitor multi-level inverter is same as that of the diode clamped inverter. Only the difference, instead of the diodes we are using the capacitors to clamp the voltage. Okay, and this capacitor's voltage is changing, or the there is a charging and discharging of the capacitors while producing the output. Okay, so that is the reason the nature of the capacitor seems like a it is going up and then going down. Okay, it means it is charging and discharging. So that is the reason, because of this nature it is called as a flying capacitor. Okay, So here again the circuit diagram is same, formulas will be same. Okay, so formulas for M level, inverter, how much switches are required? 2 into M minus 1. Okay, switches, again if you use the formula we'll get 4 switches for 3 levels, so we have 4 switches here. Okay, then here how many input capacitors we required? The input capacitors required is M minus 1. Okay, and here there is only difference for the flying capacitors. Okay, so how many capacitors we need here? Flying capacitors. For that we have a formula, M minus 1 into M minus 2. Okay, for input capacitor. Okay, so I will write here input capacitor. For input capacitor we have formula M minus 1 into M minus 2. It was in diode clamp. Here it is divided by 2. Okay, so here 3 minus 1 2 and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 2 into 2, sorry, 2 into 1 is 2. So 2 by 2 is 1. So here we have only single capacitor is here. Okay, flying capacitor. Okay, so if you observe the diode clamp in this flying capacitor, formula to get the switches into the circuitry will be same. Formula to get the input capacitor is same, but there is only difference in formula of having a flying capacitors into the circuits. Okay, so in diode clamp there was M minus 1 into M minus 2 diodes we required, and here we need M minus 1 into M minus 2 divided by 2. Okay, so here we have only a single capacitor. If you refer the previous one, 3 level inverter. Okay, so here is 3 level. So here you can see we have 2 diodes. Instead of these 2, we have connected only one capacitor here with reference to the formulas of this flying capacitor inverter. Okay, so again this is the A point, intermediate point of S1 S2 and S1 dash S2 dash. Here also we are using the complementary nature of the switches. Okay, so here they have named as the C2 capacitors are here. Why? Because C1 is used here as a flying capacitor. Okay, values of these capacitors, or we can assume here as a C3. Okay, value of C1 C2 is same. Okay, so how to produce a 3 level output? Again here it is indicated, 3 level output. Okay, so this is the nature of the output voltage. 0, here it is VDC by 2, is first produced VDC by 2. Okay, second level is 0 level, and last level is the minus VDC by 2. So in this way 3 levels can be produced. So for that again switching is same, S1 S2 on for the positive half. Okay, or to get a VDC by 2 across the voltage, and this complementary switches S1 dash and S2 dash, these two switches are off. Okay, so current will flow in this way initially through these switches. It will come to this point, and through this load that will be closed here. Okay, or we can assume that this type of load is connected there. So through that A, current will flow through this R load and it will be closed here. So if you see, out of this VDC by 2 is coming across this C2 capacitor. So this C2 is coming across this R directly. So that is the reason VDC by 2 will be produced. Now to produce a 0, S1 and S1 dash, or S2 and S2 dash is turned on. Okay, it means one from upper and one from lower. S1 dash, S2 or S2 dash. Okay, so in this way what happens if we turn on S1 and if we turn on S2 dash, then even though S1 is on, no current will flow because S2 is off. Okay, if we turn on S2 and S2 dash, so in that case even though S2 dash is on, here S1 dash is off, so no current will flow in the negative direction or in the opposite direction also in this way, because this is S1 dash is off. So that is the reason 0 output will be produced here. Now to produce minus VDC by 2, we have to turn on the complementary switches, that is S1 dash and S2 dash, and we have to turn on the upper switches, that is S1 and S2. So how the current will flow? So you will see, now initially current was flowing in this direction. Okay, now current will flow in the opposite direction. From A, it will flow through S1 dash S2 dash and it will be closed here to this C3 capacitor. Okay, so only this loop with respect to this load will come there, and that is the reason minus VDC by 2 output is produced there. Okay, so as we design the diode clamped inverters for 3 level, 5 level, okay, and for any level we can design. Similarly, this flying capacitor can also be designed. Okay, so we understand this switching logic here in flying capacitor. Switching logic, it is very simple. So if you understand the 2 level or the conventional inverter switching, you can understand this switching also. Okay. So after this, we have this 3 phase, 3 level. Okay, so this is the switching for 3 phase and 3 level inverter. So here we have the 3 combinations, or we can say we have a 3 legs. Okay, one for every phase. Every leg or each leg represents for one phase. So this can be of R. Okay, this can be of Y phase, this can be of V phase. Okay, so if we connect the single legs in parallel across the single source, okay, along with the 2 input capacitors, then we can produce the we can construct these 3 phase flying capacitors inverter. Okay, and these are the output points. So this is the output point. We can assume A, B and C. Okay, and here you can connect any load, okay, across A, B and this C. So as far as this 3 phase load is concerned, so that load can be either connected in star or it can be connected in delta, depending on the type of the load. Okay, and you apply the same logic here, you will get the multi-level output, that is 3 level output for every phase. Okay, so this is about the flying 3 phase 3 level. Okay, so we have only this to understand. Okay, so I'm not extending this for 3 phase. Okay, I'm just explaining you this logic. Okay, then it can also be constructed for the 5 level. So you again apply the formulas, the switches, how many switches we need. Okay, 2 into m minus 1, 8 switches are there. Okay, 2 into 5 minus 1 means here it will get 8 switch. Then input capacitors we see, input capacitors we have n minus 1, that is 5 minus 1, that will be 4. So we have 4 capacitors. Now you just see here we have multiple clamping capacitors are there, clamping capacitors. So for that formula we have m minus 1, m minus 2 divided by 2. So here you just see 5 minus 1, 5 minus 2 divided by 2. So 4 into 3, 12, 12 by 2 is 6. So you just see 1, 2, 3, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and this 6. So we have 6 capacitors. So in this way we can construct. So first we have to do this mathematical formulation and then we have to come. See how these capacitors are again then connected here. So C1 is connected at the intermediate point of S2, S3, S4 and here S1 is S2. So in this way one capacitor is connected. Again these remaining 2 capacitors are connected across this S2, after S2 and here S2 dash. Okay, and this remaining 3 capacitors are connected after S1 and here S3 dash. So in this way we have to connect this. Again how to connect this and this, based on the mathematical formulation we can find out the values of this C1, this C2 and this C3. Similarly we have to find out the value of the C4. Okay, and by using this mathematical formulation we have to construct it. And again here the intermediate point of this input capacitor is clamped here are taken here as a neutral point. Okay, and the intermediate point of the 4 upper and 4 lower switches is considered here to connect a load, and has been connected here as a point. Okay, so across A with respect to O. And again the same nature of output voltage is produced here, which was produced in the diode clamp inverter. Okay, so no any difference is here. So if you see this, what can be advantage of this flying capacitor inverter as compared to this diode clamp inverter? Okay, so here if you see the count of the capacitor is more, okay, as compared to the diode clamp. So the storage capacitance, the storing capacity itself is increased there. Okay, so during the power outages for short period of time, okay, so these capacitors will be used to produce the output. Okay, even though we have this C1, C2, C3 that input capacitors, in addition to that, these clamping capacitors can also be used as a backup in case of a power outage is there. Okay, for a short period of time. Okay, for maybe for 15-20 minutes, this clamping capacitors will also provide a backup there. Then, as compared to this diode clamp inverter, so if you see the count of the diode in diode clamp inverter was more, as compared to this capacitor count is this, almost it is half. Okay, so if you see this diagram, this diode clamp. Okay, so here what was the count of the diode? The count of the diode is of 12. Okay, and if you see the count of the capacitor here, the count of the capacitor is input capacitor is the clamping capacitor is so exactly half of this on that. So that can be so because of this half or the less number of the clamping components of the clamping capacitor, the complexity of the circuit itself is reduced. Okay, so it becomes very easy to construct than the diode clamp inverter. Okay, so what can be a disadvantage of this inverter? So disadvantage can be discussed. Again, if we extend this topology for higher level of inverter, 9 level, 11 level, 10 level, 15 level, 20 level. So here the capacitors into the circuitry is increased. Okay, so the cost of this capacitor is little bit high than this diode clamp inverter. Okay, so unnecessary there is a more storage than required. Okay, so because of this there is a unnecessary storing. Cost wise also we need to invest more cost to the capacitors, so it becomes little expensive as compared to this diode clamp multi-level inverters. Okay, and also here the control is complicated. It becomes complicated. Why? Because of this clamping capacitors, we have like a storage. Okay, so while controlling means turning on and turning off switches, we need to take some precautions. Or if we see this problem in a practical point of view, we cannot take directly this capacitors into the circuit through the switches. So we need to develop some protections and additional protection circuitry. Okay, why? Because we know the nature of the capacitor. It is like a bomb. Okay, so once it is short circuited, there will be blast into the circuitry. Okay, so it is this capacitor is of very short rating. Okay, or very small rating capacitors we are using in the inverters. Why? Because these are the DC capacitors and unidirectional or single direction polarized. Okay, so even though these capacitors are damaged, then it will affect on the output nature of this flying capacitor multi-level inverter. Okay, so one of the levels can be missed if the clamping nature is failed. Okay, so here this is the disadvantage. Okay, so because of this storing nature of this capacitors into the circuitry, the controlling is becomes complicated. Okay, or we need to develop the additional protection circuitry in case of a flying capacitor inverter as compared to the diode capacitor. In diode, there is no any storing nature. Either it is a forward bias or it will be a in reverse bias. So here it will not be there. So for capacitors to discharge the capacitors, sometimes we need to provide additional discharge. So in this way, this is the disadvantage of this flying capacitor multi-level network. Okay, so as far as the switching is concerned, of this, the switching is again same as that of this diode clamp inverter. Okay, so you see here again how many levels we are producing here. So we are producing the 5 levels. Okay, so if you see this output waveform, so for output waveform, here we have this level. Okay, so this level is assumed to be a very higher level, which is of VDC by 2. Okay, so here it is VDC by 2 we are getting. Then here second level we are getting, or I will draw it here separately. Okay. In this way we are getting the output. Okay, so if you see this level is your VDC by 2, this level as your VDC by 4, this level is of 0, this level is of minus VDC by 4, and this level is of minus VDC by 2. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in this way 5 level output will be produced. Okay, so for that the switching is given there. Again, to produce VDC by 2, we have to turn on all upper switches and turn off all lower switches. So here if you see, so to produce VDC by 2, across every capacitor we have VDC by 4. Okay, here we have VDC by 4, here we have VDC by 4, here also we have VDC by 4. Why VDC by 4? Because all the capacitors are of the same rating, so this input voltage is divided equal amongst these 4 capacitors. Now to get a VDC by 2, we have to turn on S1, S2, S3, S4. So current will flow initially in this way. It will flow through A, and through load it will be closed here. So here VDC by 2, VDC by 4 plus VDC by 4. Okay, so if you add this voltage, VDC by 4 plus VDC by 4. Okay, so it will be 2 VDC by 4. So it means what? VDC by 2. So that output voltage is produced. Now, if you want only VDC by 4, see how to switch this. So for that, you have to take only this C4 into the circuit. Okay, and you have to produce this VDC by 4. So for that, you will see how to take here. So there is some missing here in diagram. Okay, so you have to connect this point to somewhere here. So how it happens? So this C4, the current will flow in this way, will come to this S2, S3, S4 to load A. It will this after S4, it will flow to A point. In between A and O there is a load, and again it will be closed here. Okay, so now only C4 means VDC by 4 will appear. So in this way VDC by 4 will be produced here. So in this way again you take this lower switches. Okay, so in that case the direction of current will be removed, and this minus VDC by 4 and minus VDC by 2 will be produced. Okay, and to get this 0 level, you have to turn off this upper 2 and this lower 2 switches, and you will turn on this middle 4 switches. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and 6, 4. Okay, so that the load can be discharged and the 0 output level can be. Okay, so again here the nature of the output which we have produced in the diode clamp is the same nature we have produced here. Okay, so only the difference we use the different topology. Okay, different topology. So we have also discussed the advantage and disadvantage of this. Okay, and the teaching is given, so you can understand this level of output. Okay, so what can be observations here? So here in observation, we have discussed multiple switching states are available. Okay, so switching states are displayed here individually, multiple switching states, the different possibilities are covered. To get a minus VDC by 4, we have this combination. Okay, to produce 0, we can use this 4 combination. Okay, to produce VDC by 4, we can use 2-3 combination. Okay, so the switching states are multiple. The proper selection of the switching state capacitor voltage can be balanced. Proper selection of the switching state capacitor voltage can be balanced because of this multiple switching. Okay, so multiple switching means any of these three we can use. Okay, so now there are three ways to produce minus VDC by 4. So we can use any one of these. So how we can use any one of these? Only these. Suppose if we use this one, first one. So here only we have to turn on these switches S4, S4, S2 dash, S3 dash, S4. If we move for this, we have to turn on only these portions. We have to turn off these portions. For this, if we are turning on this, we have to turn on this. If we are turning on this, we have to turn on this. So in this way, we have to produce output. Clamping capacitor count formula I have already told you. So it provides the switch combination redundancy for capacitor voltage balance. Okay, so redundancy means so sometimes the capacitor voltage comes lower than it is required. Okay, why it comes? Because there is a continuous charging and discharging of the capacitor. Okay, then excessive number of storage capacitors are required. So excessive number of storage is unnecessary. The storage will be increased even though it is not needed in the circuitry. Why? Because for clamping itself we are using this the capacitor. So if the capacitor will be using, so that capacitor will obviously will be charged, will be obviously discharged. Okay, so there is excessive storing capacity. And as I told you, because of this storing nature, we cannot take easily the capacitor into the circuit. Why? Because some energy, some potential existed on the capacitor, and because of that nature, that control becomes complicated. Control means to turn on the switch, we have to take care whether which capacitor is coming into the circuit and whether there is a excessive voltage at the load side or not. That we have to see. Okay, so in case of diode clamp, physical what we can say, the physical structure of the circuit was difficult. Okay, but here uh, in diode clamp, physical structure was difficult or complicated, but controlling was easy. Here the physical structure is simpler. Why physical structure is simpler? Because in diode clamp we need 12 diodes. In capacitor clamp we need 6 capacitors. Okay, so physically there is a what we can say, the complexity is less in flying capacitors, but technically to operate or to take the capacitor into the circuit, that is complicated because there is a storing nature of the capacitor. We have to that is the reason we need here the multiple switching points. Okay, so this is about the flying capacitor converter. Okay. So there is a last type, which is a cascaded multi-level inverter. Okay, so that point will take the next week. Okay, and after this there is the application of multi-level inverter. So after this point, this chapter will be finished. Okay, and the last point is the comparison amongst these multi-level inverters. Okay, after this, maybe in the next or 1 to 2 lectures, we will finish it. Okay, so I hope you get an idea of the topologies which we have discussed today of this multi-level inverter. Okay, so if any doubt about this, you can ask. Okay, otherwise we'll stop here. From today onwards, your presentations are, or from yesterday, your presentations are started. So as per your uh, guides and the panel members convenience, these are arranged. Okay, so we have total 18 presentations for power and 15 I think for control. Okay, so you contact your respective guides and within these 3 days we have to finish this presentation. Okay, so if any doubt you can ask, otherwise we'll stop.